All right, well, here we are. We're going to talk a little bit about quantum safe strategies. Helmut, why don't we start with you? Why don't you tell us a little bit about what this Q day is and what's this threat we should all be thinking about?
Well, Q day is the time and the point of time when actually quantum technology is advanced that today's encryption technology will not work anymore. It's probably between 4 to 8 years away, depending on the experts that you ask. What is the risk today? The risk that companies, public sector, critical infrastructure companies, private companies are facing is that people are harvesting, stealing, collecting data now to decrypt it later once those quantum ready keys are available. That's why you need to have today already a right approach in security to avoid these kind of data leakages.
Mm-hmm. And well, I guess, Sami, this might be a good question for you. What sort of cryptographic techniques are we seeing developed? What's out there? And can we use AI perhaps to help us address this, what Helmut's talking about?
Absolutely. So we're seeing a lot of different techniques. I mean, NIST has been working on this for a while. There are several ones they have approved, like crystal in dilithium, for example, and also there is physical techniques like quantum key distribution, which depends on physical security, using quantum phenomena. But the reality is that we're going to see a mix of both. We're going to see the hybrid, quantum key distribution has a problem with distance and so on. And definitely AI is going to work in this hybrid scenario, how we can, because I always argue that the weakest link, right, is in the end-to-end is the one that's going to create the problem, right? You may have very strong pieces, but end-to-end you have one weak link, then the whole thing doesn't work.
Yeah. Helmut, I know you were talking about building resilience from now, but is this something that operators need to start preparing for immediately? Is this something down the line? What can they do at this point to get ready for Q2?
At this point, if I just build on what Sami has been saying, today's cybersecurity landscape is typically very fragmented. And you asked about AI in this context. AI drives on the attack surface, which means the exposure that you have as an organization. AI drives on the attack side speed, scale, and sophistication, which means you need to respond faster, and therefore, ideally, with an end-to-end cybersecurity approach to it. We call it zero trust, involving post-quantum crypto readiness. That's very important because you have to protect yourself today against those potential Q-day events that might happen later. And those solutions are available today.
Mm-hmm. Sami, let me go back to you then. If we're looking at these solutions that are there today, but also thinking about the future, how do operators then prioritize what strategies they want to tackle now?
Absolutely, they need to inventory what they have today, because I think you can't protect what you don't know, right? So and as Helmut was saying, we will have different techniques, but the data also lifespan is important. If you have a data that has a longer lifespan, you have to protect it right now, because by the time quantum Q day comes in, your data now is being can be a problem, right? So you need to understand what you have today. You need to inventory your different resources and different data policies that you have. You also need to understand that this is not just one time, this crypto agility. You need to be ready to dynamically change your mechanism and all your methods to adapt to the continuously change cryptography world ecosystem.
Mm-hmm. And if I may build on what you just said, so AI brings a lot of speed, and you talked about the certificates. Identity will play a crucial role. This is why Palo Alto, we have done this acquisition of CyberArk, the leader in identity security, because for every human identity there will be 80 machine identities, let alone many more of agentic identities that have to say, and therefore also the clever management of certificates and its life cycle are extremely important in that phase until, therefore, protect today for tomorrow, in that phase until Q-day will come. And service provider, I think, have a very important role to play because they transport the biggest volumes of data, and they also have the trust as a connectivity provider, whether this is mobile or fixed across the world.
Yeah. Makes sense. Well, let's close out maybe with, I don't want to say soundbite it, but what are you telling folks that they need to be thinking about when it comes to the evolving security landscape as you know, you walk the halls and have all these meetings here in Barcelona? Maybe, Sami, if we start with you.
I say start now, understand what you have, right, and build a dynamic system that test, understand, look at the behavior and monitor what you're doing.
Great. And Helmut, you have the tough job of bringing us home here with your...
Yeah, I try to keep it short, which is go for real-time cybersecurity solutions that are highly automated, which means it has to be AI-driven. And third, that also offers you a path to simplification, which brings real business benefits as well. We call it modular platformization.
Well, gentlemen, thank you so much for stopping by at FNTV, and have a great week here in Barcelona.
Thank
you
so
Alejandro.
much.
Thank you, Sami.
Thank you.